there guys, we're going to be talking about volume today of prisms, and I'm hoping that you guys will notice that volume is much easier than surface area. And hopefully you've had a little discussion about what volume is, but just in case you haven't, volume is the amount of space inside of an object. So I always think of like a fish tank. Fish tank is definitely a prism, rectangular prism, if you have a big tank, of course. So the volume of a fish tank, that prism, is going to be how much water you can fill in that prism or fish tank before it overflows. So that's what we're going to be figuring out today for all of these different prisms. We're actually going to do it for just rectangular prisms and triangular prisms today, and then you'll do cylinders another day. So let's just kind of write down a definition for what volume is. So it's about a mass or amount of space that a solid contains. So how much you can fit inside. And another different part about volume than area is that it's going to be in cubed units. So for area, all of your units were like meters squared. But for volume, it's going to be, for example, meters cubed. Okay, because you're talking about what's inside. Okay, so for every single prism, the formula is going to be very similar. You're always going to start out with the base area, and then you're going to multiply it by the height. And that is it, my friends. Okay, so that's why I'm saying it's very much easier than the surface area formulas. So how are you going to go about finding volume of these prisms? First thing I want you to do, just like with surface area, is going to shade the base of the prism. That is so important to keep you focused on what you're doing. So shade that base. Then you're going to find the area of that base, just like we did for surface area. So area of that base that you're shading, and that's going to be your base area. So that's this part of your formula. Okay, just like you did for surface area. We had to find that for that as well. After you do that, then you're just going to find the height of the entire prism. Okay, so from top to the bottom, or from base to base. This will be the side connecting the two bases. So whatever you shade, sorry, or that looks a little weird. Whatever you shade, you're going to figure out what's connecting those two shapes. And then once you're done, you're going to plug in those two bits of information to your base area and height. And then your final formula, remember, that I wrote above, just repeating it, is base area times height. All right? All right, so let's start with a rectangular prism here. Now remember, from surface area, you can shade any rectangle that you want, but make sure you shade the same one that I do so we can kind of stay consistent here. So I think I want to start with this shape right here, this rectangle. So this is what I'm going to make my base, this guy right here. So if that's my base, we're going to find the area of that base. So remember, for a rectangle, it's just going to be base times height of that rectangle. So the base of this rectangle that I'm shading is 7. So I'm going to do 7 times the height of this rectangle is 5. So the base area of this prism is going to be 35. Now let's talk about the height. So if this is what I shaded as my base, this is the other base because it's what's connected, or it's what's the same if we follow through the prism. So the height of this prism is going to be what's connecting those. So this right here is our height of our prism. So our height is going to be 9. So the nice part about volume is it's just a two-stepper. So you're going to take the base area times the height. So we're going to take 35 times 9. Easy as that. And you're going to get 315 centimeters cubed. Remember, it's different for volume. Okay? Not too bad, I hope. Nice and simple compared to surface area. Let's try a couple more. Alright, so example 2 is another rectangular prism. So we're going to start with shading one of our bases. I think I'm going to use this guy up here, this little rectangle. So remember, to find the area of a rectangle, we're going to do base times height. So for my base area, I'm going to take the base of this rectangle is 9 times the height is 4. So 9 times 4, and that's going to give me 36. So the base area of this prism is going to be 36. Now for the height, it's going to be what's connecting this base to the other base, which would be down here. So the thing that's connecting would be this 10. So that's going to be my height. Sorry. So we're going to take our base area, which is 36, times our height, and that is going to give us 360 feet cubed. All right. Let's try a triangular prism, shall we? So here we go. Remember, you have to pick very carefully what you shade for a triangular prism. It has to be the triangle. So I'm going to pick this triangle down here to start with. Okay. Here's my right angle, just in case I forget since I shaded it. All right, so to find the area of a triangle, it's going to be base times height divided by 2. Don't forget that since it's a triangle. So we're going to do, our base is 6 times the height of the triangle is 8, and we're going to divide that by 2. So that's going to give us 24. So that is our base area. And the height, so it's connecting the triangle to the triangle, is going to be 3. So I'm going to take 24 times 3, and that will give us 72 miles cubed. All right. Try one more with you, and then you can try one on your own. If you want to pause me, if you feel like you know what you're doing, go for it. Try it out. All right, I'm not going to shade this all the way in because there's some important information in here. So here's what I'm going to use as my base for my triangular prism. Remember, it's, oops, sorry. We're going to do base times height divided by 2. So the base of my triangle, I don't see it right here, but if I look up, oh, this is the same thing. So the base of your triangle is going to be 5. The height of your triangle is going to be, remember, from that right angle, so it's going to be 3.1. And then I'm going to divide that all by 2. So that our base area is going to give us 6.2. Now the height of your whole prism, remember, is connecting this triangle to the top triangle, so that would be this little guy right here. So it's going to be 5. So I'm going to take 6.2 times 5, and our final answer is going to be 31 kilometers cubed. All right, I'm going to ask that everyone pause me, and then once you finish this second one, unpause me and check your answer. Okay, if you don't get it right, make sure you raise your hand and get some help figuring out why you didn't get it right. So pause me and then come back to me. Okay, if you're coming back to me, I'm going to give you the answer here. If you didn't get it correct, I want you to either figure it out on your own why you didn't get it correct, or I want you to raise your hand and ask why you didn't get it correct. Okay? So 144 kilometers cubed. If you did it, give yourself a pat on the back. If not, that's okay. Just call someone over and get some help. All right, you're going to do lots of practice. Good luck to you, and make sure you take your time when you're doing these.